Good morning, friends. It is Saturday, October 14th, and it is about 7:30 in the morning. I've been up for over an hour. All the cats have been fed. I had a little bit of cereal and a banana so I could take some Excedrin because I woke up with a headache. Seem to do that every Saturday. I don't sleep well, and so, yeah, you know the story with that. But it'll get better. I just thought I'd show you some of the things that I am printing out. I like to print like one copy of the things that I want for the next week or the next couple weeks at home. Since I have the Instant Ink program, I am on the 300 copies a month plan, which is like $10 a month. I used to spend, I don't even know how much I used to spend on ink. It was astronomical how much I would spend on ink before I got this printer that does the Instant Ink. So it's amazing. I like to print out like center materials and things that I want to laminate to keep for a long time. And that way I have everything I want and it's ready to go. I just don't seem to have the time at school to do that kind of thing. I need to do the basic things at school. I don't want to bring papers home to grade if I don't have to, so I try to do that at school. That hasn't been happening with my spelling tests, of course, because that's on a Friday. But, excuse me, the rest of the time I just kind of let the daily papers pile up, because Fridays are when I have the students choose out of the treasure chest. So I try to get the papers checked by then so that they can get their punches on their work cards and get their prizes. But and then I can also talk to students about, oh, it seems like, I've been looking at your morning papers. You're seeming to have trouble with this concept or whatever. So I can talk with them. And then I have some evidence because they have been working on that skill for a few days before I talk to them. So they've had several chances to figure it out. But that's what I'm doing right now. I had a cup of tea. I'm having another cup of tea. It's looking like it's going to be a beautiful day. Let me see if I can show you outside the window. Look how beautiful and sunshiny it is out there. That's a hummingbird feeder over there. The cats keep knocking it off the table out there, but it looks gorgeous outside. It's supposed to get to be like 88 degrees today, which is insane. It is October 14th. We're halfway through October. It's been fall for almost an entire month, and we haven't had much fall temperature, which I guess that's okay. I don't know what that means for the winter. You Farmer's Almanac people can maybe tell me what that means for our future in the winter. But I tell you, the trees and insects do not know what to do with themselves. Should I bloom? Should I go dormant? The insects are like, should I go find food? Should I crawl into my hole for the winter? I don't know what to do. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell you that I released our ladybugs yesterday. I wish I would have shown that. I had kind of forgotten about them for a few days. I was like, oh no, did I kill them? Oh crud. There's Pikachu. I think I showed you that they are all pupa, and I showed the class. I did remember to show the class at least, thank goodness. So I took a couple of craisins, because I had raisins somewhere, but I didn't want to dig for them. But I knew where the craisins were, so I soaked them in some water, and I got them plump, and I put them in some water, like I just said I soaked them. So in water, and let them soak for like 3 or 4 hours. And then that was the night that I stayed late on a Wednesday because my daughter was at Gamers Club. And then I remembered to put a couple of them in the ladybug land with my ladybugs. And the next morning, they were so happy. There were some of them on the craisin, so apparently they like them. That feeds them because it's like nectar, I guess, to them or whatever. So they suck the juices from in there. So then I was like, oh, it's Friday. That's supposed to be really nice this weekend. This would be the perfect time to release them. So when I went to get my kids off the playground yesterday, I took the ladybug land with me. Socks wants to play with the cats outside. I took it outside and I took the top off and I just laid it down. Well, silly me should have knocked the craisins out of the ladybug land, because when I went to check on it after school, it was swarming with ants, which was gross. So I just dumped all the ants out with the craisins, and they were like, ooh, the craisins. So then I was able to bring the thing in, and I gotta tell you, that thing stinks. After the ladybugs have been in there for a week, oh, it's gross. It just stinks. And so I always wash it really, really good before I put it away for the next year. So I just left it out to dry in my sink at school. let me show you some more things that I am going to use for next week. So I showed you that I'm printing a lot of things from Mr. Gregg's Frankenstein themed math and literacy centers because these are so fun. Let me see if I can finagle this with one hand and go up here. Oh, where's the arrow? There it is. Okay. So this tells you everything. Sorry, this is so wiggly. I'm kind of floppy today, apparently. Okay, so here are all the things. Now, these are made for kindergarten, but there are lots of things that you can adapt for first grade. And we all have those students that could use some practice on some lower level skills. And I have several, especially in the letter identification and letter sounds department. So I'm able to use some of these things right here, like the missing letters, which we're doing with our morning work right now. And they're having a hard time with that, some of them, just a few. Sight words, that's always good for them to see them more. And it's fun for them to get around the room with a clipboard. And I tell them you can use marker on this one. Anytime we write words just on a worksheet or something, they can use marker just to make it more fun. Their beginning sounds, that's always good. Labeling is good too because they're having to write. Some of them need to learn to write their numbers the right way. So the missing numbers thing would be good for them to write their numbers. Let me just go through some of the things on here. I'm using that for another 10 frame lesson on Monday because yes, goody, Go Math has another Making 10 lesson. So if you haven't been following my Go Math saga, I think I should have named yesterday's vlog Frustrating Friday, but it's not because of the kids. It's because the concept is difficult for them. It's a higher level thinking skill. And if you are not that great with addition yet, and you don't understand what plus what equals 10 yet, having to reorganize your add-ins into 10 and another number is kind of hard, which is why I did the candy corn math yesterday. So I'm going to use this sheet as a way for us to track what we did in our 10 frame. Just like I think I showed you the sheet I used yesterday was a pumpkin. So they're going to put the answer here once they figure it out. And I think I'm going to have them write their addition sentence here somehow. Anyway, yeah. So there's sums to 5 on here, and so there's picture support. That would be good for your lower level kiddos, and there's sums to 10, which is what I'll use. I printed these cards out, and then I have this sheet for them to record. I'm going to double side this one, so they have to do 20, so it'll take them a while. Then number order, some kids need that. And then making 5, 10. I did print this one out for some kids to do that. So I printed this one out too, so we could do another 10 frame lesson just to make it more fun because it's got like the Bride of Frankenstein on it, just, you know, for heck of it. Then this is good for the missing letter. All different things. I did print this out for Write the Room because a lot of these are, well, not all of them, but some of them are color words, but some of them are sight words. And so then they'll go around and they'll write the word from the card that they find. They'll just be mixed all over the room. Then some of my kids need some beginning sound practice. Now we're working on CVC words right now. So I'm just going to have them, maybe at reading groups, we'll pick a card. That'll probably be our game for my lower level kids. Pick a card, read it, and then find the picture on your page in color. And I'll just have, like, say, Dave. I don't have a Dave, but just for the sake of, you know, naming someone. I'll say, Dave, pick a card. And he'll say, okay, I got this word. Because there's no picture support on here, so they do have to use their sounds, which is what they need. At, bat. And then everyone in the group will find the bat picture on their page and color it in right here. I don't know if you can see my cursor moving around, but right here. And so on and so forth until we've gotten them all colored in. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That'll be good. They should each get to do 2 at least. Different there. Oh, that's cute. Look at that. Labeling Frankenstein. That would be super cute. I think instead of having them cut and paste, I would have them write them. Like I would probably put these words on the board and they would have to match the word to the body part. That would be good practice in writing words. Yep, and there's that. Okay, I think I also may do this while I am doing reading testing, just to give them something that will take a while to do. So this is created by Sarah Cooley. I love her things. They're super cute. I think she uses a lot of melon heads, designs, creatures. Look at that cute little, like, oh, we can move my finger here. I can't find my finger here. Well, oh, there it is. Oh, I lost it again. Well, anyway, see the little dog at the bottom of the screen? Super cute. See if I can show you just a few pages. I don't want to like break copyright or anything by showing you things, but screenshotting these wouldn't do you a lot of good anyway. Okay, so there's the cover that you print. And this is made to be a class book, but I thought I might just give every kid like 10 pages and have them make their own story, which would be super fun and take a while. What they do is they think of descriptive words to add to the blanks. So for example, one creepy night, or one frigid night, or one terrifying night, whatever, some kind of descriptive word. They have to come up with descriptive words. And I'll have like a word bank on the wall where they can choose. I went to a spooky house. And then it just goes through, you know, just it describes the house, the windows, the door, the stairs, driveway, etc. Just this has like, I don't know, 25 or 30 pages in it. I think I'll give the kids like half the pages, and I'll probably split the book into two, where this kid will have this half of the book and this kid will have this half of the book, to where they don't all have the same one, which would be good. And that'll give them something to do while I'm doing testing and try to keep them quiet and working. And this is a good skill for them to have. They're writing, they're thinking, and then each page they get to illustrate. So that should take a very long time. Hopefully this will take the whole week next week. So that's what I'm going to do for that. Okay, I've also printed some things from this awesome resource. I love Erica Boer's resources. She's in the New York area. I think she might be in New Jersey. Excuse me. Morning gunk. Anyway, she has great things in her store. She's got math things. They use Engage New York in her district, and she has a lot of great resources for that. She also has great centers and writing things, and also just like packets like this that are great for science. Let me show you a few of the things out of this that I'm going to use. Okay, honestly, there is a ton of stuff in this resource that I would love to use. I just don't have the time. So this is called Tiny Sight Words. I don't know if you can see them. You kind of see the little tiny specks here. Those are sight words. So what you do is you print this page out, and you can do it in black and white. I might do just a couple of color ones, maybe 4, and laminate them so I can keep them. But what you do is you give your kids little magnifying glasses, and they use those to find the words, and then they record them on this sheet. But see, they have to sort them. So we've got words with initial L, like in look. Words ending in ALL, like in ball. And we've had the word all in sight words and our spelling. Words ending in ILL, like in drill. So they have to look at the words and figure out where to put them. So this would be a good writing word work type center. I have a whole class set of little magnifying glasses that I got from Amazon or probably Oriental Trading, honestly. So I have several different little resources like this, and this is really fun because it's a novelty. If you can throw in a little novelty thing for them to use to do their work, they are all in, because they're like, oh, this is so cool. And it's something simple, and it's something you can use over and over and over. And you can use your magnifying glasses for science too. So it's not like you're just going to use it for this and be done with it. So I highly recommend something like that. This thing is going to be great to put in my center drawers. So I'm printing out 4. You can see the light just went on my printer over there. My feet. And Mittens is saying hi. The cats love to play with random things. So there's like a deflated balloon. There's Onyx's dish that got knocked out here. There's a little squeaky mouse toy. I don't know what that, oh, that's my copy paper. And there's a paper towel tube. So they love to just like roll things and flip things around. So yeah, it looks like we just have junk on our floor, and then we have a box over here they love to just lay in. So free, basically, free. We bought that a long time ago, and they just love it. It squeaks and makes weird noises. And then that's one of my birthday balloons that just deflated. They just love to, Onyx likes to snuffle under it. She'll go under it and poof it up in the air, and she'll pounce on it, they'll lay on it, whatever. I'm like, hey, let's just let them play with it. That's great. So yeah. Anyway, so this will be a great center drawer thing just for novelty. And only one student works in one drawer at a time. And so maybe when another student in that group sees that, oh, what's that? They'll want to do the drawer next, which will be good. Another thing that I have printed some things from Spooky Spiders and Bats by Lauren C. And you can see the information there. And I'll show you what I'm using out of that. Got like some writing prompt type things. I think I will put these in my little green writing baskets. I'll replace the blank paper and put these instead of the sticker stories and all that, because then it'll be more seasonal themed. And what they do is they look at the pictures and they write a story about it. And I would make this double-sided because I think there's another, yeah, there's another page. You can just print it double-sided. And then here's another one. They just make up a story. And then you could also have some for your higher kids that has the actual prompt on it. I think I'll just do the 3 with the pictures. So my little squirts have been working so hard that I needed to print out more work cards because I actually ran out because so many of them finished one. For some reason I could not find it on my desktop, and rather than digging through my flash drive and all that rot, I just found that one that was pre-made, and I changed the wording by putting a white text box over it was a behavior card at one point, and so it was a freebie thing that I found on Teachers Pay Teachers. I thought, it's pineapples, it's already done. If I just change this, I'll be good. So perfect. I printed out 8 of these. No, yes, 8 of these. So I'll be good for a while. I'll have like at least 3 class sets and a half. So hopefully that'll get me through December. I do have a lot of seasonal work cards that I'll probably start using, but they say homework on them. I may just need to do, that's the trick that I've learned. You can screenshot on your Mac. And so you screenshot something. I like to slide it into a PowerPoint, and then you can put text boxes and make them filled with white. I'll go up here to the, let's see if I can show you. So I just got, so you just get a blank new presentation, which is what I did, and you have a blank screen. And then you can, okay, so this is my text box here. If you double click on it, you can fill it with whatever color you want. So if I wanted to black it out, I could do that. If I wanted it to be orange, I could do that, whatever. But that's kind of cute too. So you can do all kinds of stuff. Now I would probably put green on there if I was going to do something. Maybe that would be cute. See? So you can do whatever you want. So I've been taking things that I have and altering them to work for me. So that's been really cool. And I could just get out of here because, and I don't want to save my craziness there. Look at all of the things I've been downloading. All of the things here are things I've been downloading. All of this crazy over here, all of this stuff. And these are my morning work pages. I just screenshot the language and I screenshot the math, and then I slide them together and I screenshot the whole thing. So then when I put it up on the board, it's together like that. It's just easier for me. And then I have to go back and like label them right here. So you just click and click again. And when it turns blue like that, you can rename it. So you can just do that. Okay, so I've renamed it blah, 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 but whatever. But yeah, there's my newsletter that I was so happy that I had already done. Okay, let me see if I can find some more of the things that I was, oops, not Launchpad, I was doing. So here's my Teachers Pay Teachers account, and I looked up Frankenstein. I have all of these awesome Franken things. I think it shows the beginning. Anyway, this is a bat book that I have. Has all kinds of information. And then there's an easier version right here. Much easier. And then there are even some like little comprehension things. And we're going to do this one because they just have to circle the answer. So just for doing that. And there's some information there. And you can give them a little certificate. But it doesn't have, okay, this is by First Grade Fun Times. And what's it called though? Fall Activities, Bats, Differentiated Readers, and Comprehension. Wow, it's a big name. So there you go. There's the name of the file. I don't know. It doesn't have a cover, so it's odd. Anyway, I'm going to print, if I can get to the beginning, I'm going to print this book, and then I'll be able to just copy it at school. You can hear my printer happily printing away in the background. It's just chugging along, printing my bat book and my little comprehension quiz. I'm also going to print some things from Dee Dee Wells, Just Roll With It. I have her whole set for the whole year. These are awesome. Some of the things are kindergarten-y because she's a kindergarten teacher and I don't use them. But pretty much everything is editable. So as long as you open it up in Adobe, which it's in, Acrobat Reader, you can change things. So let me show you some of the things that I'm going to use. Here's one of the things. These go with those soft pocket dice that I was telling you about that I will show you. So these go great in my word baskets that are over by my door. There are 2 pink, 2 blue, and 2 green. And the students, when they have that on their center wheel, can go choose one of those baskets and work with a partner, or they can do it by themselves. It's more fun with a partner though. So there are 6 sides in the die. Of course, they'll get a one squishy die. These go down in the little pockets, and a lot of my kids have trouble with rhyming. So this will be a great thing for them to do. And it's got a fire safety thing. She's got them themed by month. Makes them a little more fun for the kids. So, and even down here, it shows you the things that they should be writing or checking. So those are the cards that will go in the die. And then here's the recording sheet. So they roll that die. It should say die. But anyway, roll the dice and color the picture that rhymes. So if they rolled the cat, then they should find something that rhymes with cat. They could do hat, or they could do mat. So there are 2 for each one, and you can see at the bottom, those are the rhymes for everything to help the teacher, because sometimes you're not sure. I'm going to use that. That's one of them. And you can laminate these, but honestly, if you print them on, sometimes I print them on cardstock, sometimes I laminate, sometimes I just print them on regular paper, because they hold up pretty well inside the squishy die, because the kids aren't manipulating the paper, they're just rolling the die. So there's that. And here's one where, see the little box here? This is where you can put in like your, let me see if I can type here. You can put in a sight word. So you can put, I've done these where I put in my spelling words for the week. But I just get tired of making them all the time, which is why I just made the Post-its. Of course, I could do the same thing with this and just reuse them every year. So it wouldn't be a big deal. But anyway, you can put your words in that you want them to practice. And then they roll them, and then they have different sheets they can write them on. They can put them on here. And if you put in a word here, these are cool. It like auto-fills the thing, because I did it with numbers. So if we wanted them to practice their word like, watch this. Put like here. See, it's got traceable letters, and check it out. It will populate the whole thing. So if they roll like, they'll go here and they'll trace L-I-K-E, and then do that. And I might do that for some of my little people that have trouble writing their letters the right direction. This would be a great differentiation for them to give them a different recording sheet than the rest of the students, so that they're practicing writing their letters the correct direction, because we have a lot of reversals in first grade. And that is a developmental thing. That does not become like something that you really worry about until second grade. Like that's, I guess, an 8-year-old thing. And so kind of like with speech, there are certain ages where a speech disorder or whatever becomes, okay, now they qualify for speech intervention. But just like this reversal thing, like writing their K's backwards or writing their E's backwards, that's a developmental thing. And they don't qualify for any extra services unless they're older, which bugs the crud out of me, because I'm like, if we could intervene earlier, maybe they wouldn't keep having this problem. Because really, the longer they practice writing something wrong, the harder it is to fix it. So I like to give my little guys handwriting sheets and things like this where they can trace the words. So they're seeing, oh, it goes this direction. And they can't write it wrong because it won't match. So that's one thing that's really cool about these, because you can populate it with whatever words you want. Then there's also this recording sheet. And the cool thing is, excuse me, every sheet that goes with this set will have the words that you already put in one of them. This is the one that I printed out for them to do their spelling words, because I want them to just be able to write them on the pumpkins. But some of the little guys, I might give them this sheet just to make it easier for them, so they'll practice writing their letters the right way. There's some numbers, and I did already see, once you put it in, it does the whole thing. But if you erase it, then boop, it should be gone. There we go. So I just pushed enter and they all disappeared. You can put in whatever numbers. So I did already make one of these. So like, whoops, sorry. Okay. So I have kids that are writing 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, and 7s, and also 9s, but there's not enough space for that. Backwards. So then these, watch this, bloop, they will have to trace it after they roll the number. Now, I don't think I'm going to use these number card things with the soft-sided die because I have some little foam cubes that I got from the Target Dollar Spot like several years ago. They had little bags of them in the Dollar Spot, and you could write on them with a Sharpie. And so I have a whole bunch of them that I can just make whatever I want. So I'll just write these 6 numbers on the die, and then I can just make that several centers. And the kids that are having a lot of trouble, I might just send home with them, because if they don't bring the die back, it's one little foam thing. I think those came with, like, I don't know, 40 or 50 of them in a bag, something like that. Super cheap for $1. So if I lose a few, whatever, that's fine. But they'll get extra practice writing their numbers the correct direction. Yes, that's kind of important. This set has several pages like this with a themed thing, like there's a cat one. What I'm going to do is have them write addition sentences. They're going to have to write them kind of small, and they can go over it a little bit. I don't care if they go over the circle a little bit. But I want them to roll the 2 dice, put the addition sentence, and write their answer. So they're going to write the whole number sentence here. So yes, they're going to have to write it a little smaller, but they need to start learning how to write smaller so it fits a space. So there's this one that I printed out, and that one I printed out, and there might have been one before this. I thought there were 3. Let me see. Nope, not the shape one. Oh, this one. Yeah, this one also. They can put the addition sentence. That was actually easier to write in because it's got a bigger box. So write the addition sentence and make sure they have the answer. Because if they just write the number, you don't know if they added right. I want to be able to check it and make sure they did it right. But just a fun little way for them to do addition. And they get to, on this, I'll let them use marker just for, to make it more fun, because really, who cares? And I've taught them if they mess up with marker, just cross it out and write under it. And there's plenty of space under here to write underneath it. So yeah, this will be hopefully novelty enough for them to want to do it and have fun. The cats are being wackadoo. Socks just jumped right over Pikachu. He just went, poof. Crazy little boy. They're just having a good old time. I guess it's kitty playtime right now. It's about 20 to 9. I just started some laundry. I thought I would do the delicates first so I could hang them and they'd have time to dry by this evening so I could put them away. Because generally it takes overnight for the bras to dry because of the foam in them. And I have several leggings that are in there that are delicates. They're soft like the LuLaRoe, but they're not LuLaRoe because I'm not going to pay the LuLaRoe prices. So I'll show you those when I start wearing them. I found some super cute ones, and I just got them from Walmart. I just happened to be walking through getting some random stuff that was boring. And I went, oh my goodness, I have to look at this. So I got them and I tried them on at home, and they fit wonderfully, and they're so soft and comfortable. And I practically live in leggings during the fall and winter because they're just so comfortable, and you can put boots with them and you can mix and match them, and they're just fun and comfortable. And it's almost like wearing pajamas to school, but you look professional because you're put together. This is the last thing that I have printed things from. This is another research project for Mr. Greg at the Kindergarten Smorgasbord. He has amazing resources, and there are tons, friends, in his TpT store. So be sure to check him out if you're looking for something. And if you follow him on Facebook, he does a lot of giveaways of his products. So you kind of have to jump on it because they're only good for, like, he'll post it, I don't know, sometime in the afternoon, like after school, and you'll only have till like 9 p.m. Central Time to put your name in there and follow the directions. Like, you have to repost it and tag people and stuff, and like the post. But he'll draw for a winner using like a random number generator or something like that. And he'll send you the resource for free. It's really, really cool. So he does that a lot. So if you follow him, it's a really good deal. Plus you see his resources when they first come out, and he always discounts them for the first like 24 hours. So you can get them for like 20 or 25% off. So it's a really good deal. I have a lot of his resources, and he's a really neat guy too. He's out of Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee. And he has the two sweetest dogs ever. He has Butters and Lulu, and they're super cute Labradoodles, and he loves them like his children. And his husband is the Mister, and he does a lot of Scentsy. So they've got a kindergarten, was it a smorgasbord of scents is his husband's website and thing that he does. Anyway, a little information about one of my favorite peoples on Teachers Pay Teachers. And he does a lot of YouTube videos too, so you can follow him on YouTube as well. Subscribe to his channel. He shows a lot of stuff in his classroom. He does like Smorgy Vision because, you know, it's the smorgasbord. So they have Smorgy as his little like cartoon like avatar almost. And he shoots things in Smorgy Vision because he has a GoPro, and he'll put it on one of his little kindergartners and let them wear it around. And so you get like a kindergartner's eye view of the classroom. It's really, really cool. And his classroom is amazing. So if you have not checked his website out or his TpT Store or his YouTube videos, I highly recommend him. But anyway, here's what I'm going to use out of this. Here's all the stuff that comes in this awesome resource. We do this to write down some bat facts. Probably use this to write a quick little report. Here's some more stuff that'll go with that writing. This, and then we may not need 2 writing pages because they're the same, but just in case. Here's a bat labeling page. I think I showed you like a Frankenstein labeling page. I think that's good practice for kids because that's a science thing. Labeling things is a science thing. So they should be able to do that from kindergarten even. So I'll probably use this. And it does have like a cut and paste thing. Whoops, wrong way. To go with it like that. But I'm not going to mess with the cut and paste. I'm just going to have the words on the board and they're just going to match them into the boxes because they need to have more practice writing. For being a graphic organizer to organize your bat facts. So there are 6 places for facts, and then you can have them right on here. I think I would just have them use the blank paper in 1st grade, but this will be a great way to organize our facts that we learned and then translate them into an informational report. He has a ton of like center things. He has math and literacy, and I'm going to be using some of these. Could use this page to do my crazy making a 10 for my Go Math lessons just to make it more interesting. This I think I could use as a recording sheet for like flashcards. They could write the number sentence that they get and write the answer just to make it more interesting because it's bats. It's a tally mark thing, but you could even like white out all that, or you could screenshot it, which I've done with some of his other things, and just put a white text box over there and add your own directions. So it's very easily changed if you want to. These would be great for your lower level math kids that are having trouble using numbers to add. They could show there are 0 bats in this cave and 1 bat in this cave, which gives you 1 bat altogether, so on and so forth. And you could, if you wanted, you could laminate these and have them use dry erase markers. Or you could shrink them down and put more than 1 page on a page. Like you could probably make it 2 to a page and they could write it and turn it in. I think I would turn this into a roll and write page where you would give them 2 dice in a dice cup or just 2 of the big dice and have them make their own number sentences and write them down with the answer. These would be great for making number bonds. You could even, if you're working on numbers to 10, you could even fill these bats in with the number. Like if you want to get to 10, your 10 is going to be here because these are the 2 numbers that equal the 10. If you haven't used this particular format before, these are number bonds. This is the same type of a thing as those dang bar models in Go Math. They're just in bats instead of rectangles. But these 2 numbers would equal this number. So you could give them, you could change this around however you wanted. You could put what it equals, so the sum. You could even do, you could do a difference. I mean, they can count up or count back on these, so you could do addition or subtraction with it. But you could put like 2 and 10, and they'd have to figure out that the missing number is 8. Or you could put the 2 numbers together, and they have to find the sum. Or you could take, you know, like I just showed you, you could take the sum or the difference, put the difference up here, and then, you know, all kinds of possibilities there. I think I'm going to print these out for my little guys that have trouble with CBC words because, excuse me, it gives them the picture and it gives them the support of the end of the word family, but they have to come up with the initial sound. And I have one little guy that has a very hard time with the H sound. For some reason, he has some kind of a disconnect with the letter and the sound of H. And so that would be something good for him to practice. And you can print these out and laminate them and have them use dry erase markers. Or like I mentioned on the other page just a second ago, you could print 2 of these to a page because there are several of these. Let me see if I can show you the next several of them. You could print 2 to a page, and then they could just look at them and write them in the boxes too, which would be good, which is what I will do so we can get more bang for our buck. Your higher kids, it doesn't give them the letters, but they have to figure out it's BAT, B-A-T. And like I said, you could laminate these and they could write with dry erase marker, or you could just have them look at the cards and then, whoops, match them onto their page and write what it is. Or you could just give them the page and not even give them the cards since they don't have any support there, and just have them write the words in the boxes. Here is something I printed out since we'll be learning about bats next week. I printed out these cards for Write the Room, and since they just get like taped to things, I just put a roll of tape on the back of each little card and I stick it like to the edge of my desk and on the whiteboard and on the cubbies and on the walls and everywhere. They have to search around for it with the clipboard, which they think is super cool because it's getting them up and moving, and they're looking and they're going to find the picture that matches the picture on their card and then write the word that goes with it. And then you can go over, and I would go over the words with them first so they know what they are, so they're just not randomly writing, well, I don't even know what the word is, and they're just writing it down. So they kind of know what it is. But that's something that my kids have always loved to do in the past. And Mr. Greg has a whole bundle of Write the Room for the year that I highly recommend, because then you're set. Once you teach your kids the format, and it's super easy. You just basically go get a clipboard and grab a recording sheet, and you can use a marker. You can tell them whatever they can use to write with. I let my kids use marker on things like this because it makes it a little more fun and more exciting and special for them. And you need to get them excited about things. So that's just one easy way to do it. And then you just show them, okay, these word cards are all around the room, but you have to be a detective, a sight word detective or a whatever, Write the Room detective, and find all of these words and write them in your boxes. And then I give them a punch on their work card for every paper that they turn into me and every paper book that they read and bring back. So they have some kind of motivation to do their work and finish it. It does not have to be right for them to get a work punch, but it does have to be complete. Now, if it's something like math papers and their math is completely wrong, like I do check their work. And if they did not do it right, then I go, okay. So then I have a small group to help in a little small group setting to help them with remediation. So that's very beneficial for me in my classroom. It's a great way for me to kind of spot check how they're doing without having to go into a lot of work, because it's built into their center time when I'm working with small groups already. So it works really well. I was so excited to see a video posted by Tina Beitler, so now I'm going to sit here with my tea and enjoy. Okay, I'm making a little afternoon tea. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye for today because I'm just done. I'm just going to go chill out in the family room with my husband and my daughter, maybe watch a movie, fall asleep on the couch again, and just relax the rest of the evening. So I'll talk to you tomorrow.